rock on. As you can see, I am recording episode 2, cold open in post-apocalypse, Maude's etc, riding through a barren wasteland. In what I believe is our fifth or sixth post-apocalypse episode. Who would have thought it?
At least.
At least. You are...
We don't have any... We need cold open recaps at some point.
Let's do it. How about now?
Exactly. I can do the post-apocalypse. Ned died. They met Mo, who was Space Jesus. Then they found out Ned wasn't dead. And then Ned Space Jesus. And then they found the Disco Realm with Sam and Pink Beard Man and Chief Disco Wiggum. And Mo got decapitated. Princess Cashmere got decapitated. Then they moved on in like a giant robot with all the... Mole Man turned up with all the kids.
Mole Man turned up and a too far gone Todd.
Oh yes, that's pretty much. That's all you need to know. Pinch is the knife.
Pinch is the next step. You are Maude, Todd, Troy, Sam, Cosine. I am Rod, Eddie, PB Man, Pinchy, Barb, Mole Man, and Terry. And action. Maude is riding through a barren wasteland atop Eddie Pinkbeard Man, who is now a weapon of Maude destruction. Clothes are tattered and her backpack is worn. She is accompanied by a large lobster, Mr. Pinchy, who is carrying his own small backpack. They come across a small sign that reads Washington, 100 miles.
Oh, we're getting close, buddy. Just a little further. What is this? It is a small tavern nestled in the ruins of an old town. The sign above the door reads the Rusty Anchor. Looks like we found some shelter for the night. Who's this? Is that the survivors in here, in this apocalyptic world? I miss Rod and Todd. One of them is a familiar face. Oh look, it's Troy McClure, former celebrity. We may know him from such apocalypses as Dawn of the Dead and COVID.
Am I Troy? Excellent. Welcome, travellers. Come join us by the fire.
Who else is here?
Well, let me introduce you to my friends. Barb Belfry, a former orphanage owner, and Sam, a former bar who is now the leader of this group. Glad to have you with us. We've been surviving out here for months now.
It's good to know we're not alone.
Oh, I'm not Barb.
It's not going to be easy, but if we stick together, we can do it. Let's all sit and share our stories and discover that we have a common goal. My goal is to reach Washington and rebuild civilization. What's your goal, stranger?
And with Mr. Pinchy here, we'll have a real survivor on the team. Does it make sense? Sorry, I didn't answer your question. Let's make plans for the next leg of the journey. What do you think, Sam?
We'll leave at first light, with renewed determination and hope for the future. Elsewhere...
Oh, we have been defeated by that woman, but we are not beaten. In fact, I don't remember if we actually were defeated. But anyway, we are now on our way to Washington. Come on, children, Cosine, yes. Todd, yes. Teddy, yes. Let's make our way to Washington, this world decimated by some unknown catastrophe, leaving only a few pockets of survivors. I will be determined to restore it to its former glory with me in charge, with my Mecha Mole Man suit looming over the ruins of this once great metropolis. What do you think, followers?
Let's do it. I'm too far gone.
I'm awestruck by the size of this towering machine. Listen, children, don't get distracted by the size of the awesome machine or the destructed metropolis. We have a mission.
Rod, where's half of your face gone?
Oh, I got into some mischief with a big creature called a Wendigo, a big wind chime style creature, but also part fungus. Meanwhile, back in the pub.
Oh, Pinchy, piling it on. You're massive.
What's happened to that lobster?
It's getting massive. Pinchy, stop growing. Oh dear. He's the size of a city.
Oh, what's that looming out, kids? What's that bloody giant lobster over there in that building? He's towering over the Mecha Mole Man, once the tallest village in the verse.
Billy.
Let's go. Let's go to Washington on this giant Pinchy and stop Mole Man.
Maude, it's a Maude Good cast, season 9. She's a ghost from the Sum Sums TV show. Low-key hostilities go to. Woo, she wears the tattoo on your leg. She's a fox and disco chick, and she got 4 grand demands. She's a super secret Anders clipper and homophobic scrapper, but not a watercolor master. We see Blubbins, the pony at Janice's house, and a rat man. Wait, watch a rat man. It's the Maude Flanders Internet Museum TV show, episode 90. Who would have thought?
3000.
Who would have thought it?
Who would have thought it, indeed?
So I've been trying to cheat the YouTube algorithm by... And while I've been doing that, obviously I have to... Don't check the IP addresses. Don't check the IP addresses, YouTube. I'm only joking, YouTube. I haven't really been doing that. Those are all...
Are you the reason I've got lots of views?
Yes.
Well, that's disappointing. I went on yesterday. I was like, oh, the sponsor race has like 70 views.
Well,
However,
they
we
listen
might
as
have-
well. They listen as well. You got banned for that reference to it.
You can't even bring it up.
Oh, you
Because
this
we'll get banned
this
again.
episode's been banned for mentioning it twice. And
Well, it was technically, it was Rob technically who said the line that got us banned, so you're fine.
anyway, no dilly dallying any longer.
Are you sure about that?
Welcome. Oh, listen, gang. Listen, gang. It's time for us, you, me, Zaz, Trimsy, whoever's coming with us. Going. We got to go somewhere and sort out Xenakis. But Flimsy Knight said, "What can we do when all of this is already written in the fates?" We heard Pip's story last episode. It's going to happen.
Well, I'm actually called Lawrence. I'm not called Nightshade. But
It's a good nickname, though, isn't it?
it is. It's close to Nightingale, which is Flimsy's surname.
Shit Boosh. Hey,
well-
watch the Mighty Boosh this week. They're just like us. And if someone said, "How would you describe the Modcast?" Shit Boosh.
Yeah, better Bush,
Think
More
about the
relevant.
mighty Boosh, but shite.
less Bake Off.
Less bake off, more bake on.
More Bake Off. Exactly. Well, anyway, you can go to the bins in Was. If you go there, you can unwrite what has been written in any context. We've never done it though because we are so like the Watchers from Marvel.
Are
We're sort of exactly like the Watchers from Marvel.
you're
actually.
nothing like them at all. But anyway,
Yes,
our
yeah.
cousins are cousins. Are you saying we could unwrite things like Maud's death? That we can bring like Maude Flanders back to life in The Simpsons?
Technically, yeah, you can do.
Because
You
that
can
would be a mission worth doing. I mean, saving Derrida's vampire son is hardly a season-long arc, is it?
That's true. However, this is me, Zaz, now. Will us unwriting Maud's death, will that delete our podcasts prior season 11? Or will it
Wow.
just, will it be in a universe where there's too many podcasts because she's still alive?
But they are Xenakis' bins.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shoot. Oh, shit. COVID's real.
Well, we can have two birds, one COVID.
Oh, hold on. We got a text coming through.
Is it Jackie D again?
Yeah, I can't read that. Can you read it for me?
Riding his hamster.
Catch dead, riding a hamster, zipping between the blades of grass. Tiny dead, deconstructing everything, coming to you to tell you what's what.
Writing is nothing.
You have to do the voice.
Writing is nothing but the representation of speech. It is bizarre that one gives more care to the determining of the image than to the object. That wasn't a quote from me, though. That was a quote from J.J. Rousseau.
AJ Rousseau, who did Lost, right?
Yeah, exactly. Others.
Bad lad. He's a bad lad.
Well, thanks, Derrida. Oh, you put a smiley face on it as well, and a eggplant emoji.
What's
Just to be cheeky.
so how does that refer to our friend Maude Flanders?
It's true. It is writing is nothing but the represent. Well, not actually, no, because people who are mute, I would say that invalidates the experience of writing. Because or deaf. Helen Keller wouldn't like this if somebody, put it in front of her hands and she read it with her hands, because that isn't speech. I think
I think he'd let it pass. I think he'd count that as speech. I
in
think
his
he's talking about writing it down. But here's the trick from us. Maude only exists because she was written down.
That is true. That is exactly true. And one gives more care to the determining of the image than to the object. I would say that's true.
In Maude?
We sort of, well, I would say it builds on the care. We're determining the image of Maude in the sense that we're building on the image of Maude every week, the object being Maude. So we have to care about the object to determine the image.
This is exactly the kind of Cerebus arc that I wanted from episode 1. Brilliant.
Well, here we are. We got there.
Welcome.
But yeah,
Hello. Good morning and Flandclum. All hail corporate imperialism. I don't think I said that in the last episode, so I'm going to say it twice. All hail corporate imperialism.
Imperialism.
We haven't been back to. We only briefly visited the museum once in the last 4 seasons to have it destroyed by zombies. So all bets are off.
We own a museum.
Oh, we'll be getting there. Season 10's all about funny museum business. You don't worry. Sponsors on the campaign trail they go: Vince Vaughn and Carlton Fresh Prince. The mission clear, the voices strong to sway the voters and make them convinced. Both actors with a different past, one a Republican, one for show. They stand together side by side because of cause they all both know. And though Philip from the court ran blue, his beliefs don't define who he is. For in this land of liberty, we're allowed to think and live as we please. So let us listen to what they say, Vince Vaughn and Carlton Fresh Prince, and make our choices with an open mind for this great democracy. Every voice should be given a fair chance to shine. Started doing sponsors as poems.
Nice.
Reboot. Soft reboot.
Excellent. In a completely unrelated set of notes that we made, my first sponsor is Republican well-wisher Vince Vaughn from Dodgeball.
Brilliant. He is exactly that.
Double sponsor. Any more sponsors? I have one more sponsor.
Yeah, there's definitely one more sponsor. Nestle's Pure Life. It starts today. H2O, H2 hours, we hear them say. The love for pandas, it is so true, and all the creatures of the zoo. I never lay a finger on my panda, for he is a treasured grandeur, and sweet peanut butter smothered koalas bring joy to all those who adore y'all. The rainforest fell on their own, not a fault of ours, no cause to bemoan. And who would skewer a dolphin, pray tell? A poor boy's kebab, not on our plate, we yell. So let's embrace this pure life so bright, and cherish all living beings in our sight, for this world is ours to share. Let's show some respect and show we care. Viva Nestle, viva Nestle.
Well, sponsors Julia Morris, human automated meerkat throwing station, Mumford's only daughter, and robotic landlord and overlord to Natalie Balloon Robotico.
Brilliant. Well, we all set off. It's hard to know who's with us. There's a lot of people, but Flimsy's with us, and Lawrence is with us, and there's us too, and probably a whole bunch of other people, Rolly Fingers, etc.
Yes,
but
I believe before we go anywhere, we have a race to check in on.
We certainly do. While we're walking, here there's a little tavern over there, which is something I did not expect to see once we left the Salt Circle.
That's true.
I was told it was a demon-infested wasteland. It is a demon-infested wasteland, but it seems to have a little pub there. So let's enter that. And while we're heading there, why don't you tell us about the sponsors race, episode X?
Yes, so within the first 10 minutes of in this episode now, we have found a abandoned tavern in a wasteland, and within the cold open, Maude found an abandoned tavern in a wasteland.
Is that a coincidence? Because if so, that's the second one of the evening.
It is. 2. That's insane already. Current frontrunners with 2 wins each are Xenakis, Cindy Chandler, and the Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D. And this is where I will add what is now my favourite part of the episode, the sponsor race.
Brilliant.
It's the Maudecast official sponsor race, episode 6.
Remaining contestants, 10.
Last week, Scott Walker won the Flamboy Tourney and chose 124 girl to be booted from the competition.
Now Cindy Chandler, the loser of the Flanball contest, must reveal which contestant she had chosen to get the chop she had won. And she had also picked 124 girl to go home. Now, 124 knows everyone thinks she's the weak link of the group. Will it break her? And does she finally feel how Susan felt on that stage while she sat there rolling her fucking eyes in the audience?
But 124 rose against the odds by being in possession of the golden flute, meaning once again nobody went home.
Well, hello, sponsors. Who left the door marked trash open? JK, Miss Thing. For mini challenge number 6, we need to save on some costs. So I'll just draw Maude with your eyes closed, and whoever is closest wins.
1, 2, 4, girl. Congratulations. You are the winner of the mini challenge. You have won the deeds to 7 abandoned British pubs.
Maxi challenge number 6. It's time for the sponsors to perform and sing live in No Footlongs, The Maudsicle. Good luck and hurry, Neddy. They're awful.
Vivacious, Onion, Scott Walker, and Derrida all had great performances in the Maudsicle.
Cindy Xenakis 124, Log Lady of Shield, and Jenny the Vixen Ryan all had a good performance in the Maudsicle.
Who knows what happened here? Fu Chengyu had a bad performance in the Maudsicle.
Let's see if Fu can turn it around on the runway. This week's theme is Watermelon Planet Realness. Good luck and hurry, Neddy, they're awful.
Jacques Derrida presents a watermelon existentialist look. Fu Chengyu presents a Not Those Watermelons, the watermelons at the bottom look. Cindy Chandler presents a watermelon megalith look. 124 presents a I don't give a shit anymore, please just send me home watermelon look. Onion presents a Vine Lord look. Vivacious presents a chic watermelon daywear look. Jenny the Vixen Ryan presents a pre-watermelon infection Diane Sharpie sharp high look. Giannis Thanakis presents a Helen handbasket ham look. The Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D. presents a Nicholas Flamel, the creator of the Philosopher's Watermelon look. Scott Walker presents a war-torn felled watermelon look.
Onion, Xenakis, Jenny the Vixen Ryan, and Fu Chengyu had a great runway presentation.
Vivacious, Scott Walker, Derrida Cindy, and the Log of Lady the Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D. had just a good runway presentation this week. Meh.
124 girl had a bad runway. Has her time run out here?
Welcome to the main stage of the Maude-cast official sponsor race. I am Niall Balloon. Please welcome our regular judges, Brendan and Nathan O'Leary, and my lady wife, Natalie Balloon Manticore. And let's give a warm welcome to our ex-special guest judge, Diane Diane
Sharpie sharp high.
Cameron Diaz. There's something about you, Cameron.
Now it's time for the judges' deliberations. Sponsors, you may relax backstage and look dead inside at your son's golf championship.
Silence, Cameron Diaz. Nobody loves Mary. Bring back our sponsors.
Onion, Vivacious, Scott Walker, rest in peace. You are the tops of the week.
If I call your name now, you are safe. Jacques Derrida, Giannis Xenakis, Cindy Chandler. The final safe sponsor this week is 124 Girl. The 4 of you may step to the back of the stage.
Onion, Vivacious, congratulations, you are the holiest rollers of the week.
Now we send you to the boondocks. Be gone, demon!
Scott Walker, great job this week, R.I.P. You're safe. You may step to the back of the stage.
Which means Fu, Jenny, Margaret, you are the wet blankets of the week. You weren't bad, you just weren't great.
Onion, Vivacious, the 2 of you will now flanball for the win. You will flanball as predetermined to the song Dream On by Tom Hamilton bass featuring Aerosmith. Good luck and hurry, Neddy, they're awful.
Sponsors, we have made our decision.
Vivacious, congratulations, you're a winner, baby. You've won a genuine Simpsons replica, the pen that was used to sign the contract to seal the fate of Maggie Rosbell.
Will our bottom sponsors please step forward?
Vivacious, with great power comes great. How do I say the Maude word? I need you to say the word.
Maudability, responsibility, Maudability, it doesn't fucking matter.
Maud responsibility. Vivacious. With great power comes great Maud responsibility. Which of the bottom three sponsors are you sending home? And bear in mind, the Golden Fleet has been found, so no more second chances.
Log Lady of S.H.I.E.L.D., as it is written, so it shall be done. You are and will always be a superstar sponsor. Now sashay away.
My log is afraid of fire. There's fire where you are going.
Congratulations, sponsors, and remember, if you can't think of it of the children, how the hell can you think of anyone else?
May I request an amen?
Now let the music play.
Remaining sponsors, 9.
Please, AI.
Gone?
She's gone.
Hey.
The end.
Well, that was fun. It was short and fun, but
9 to go.
Now we've arrived in this thing, and there's a band playing on stage. Can you insert some AI generated metal here?
Almost certainly. A good song that was. Sounded a bit like Aerosmith.
Sounded a bit like Aerosmith, like an Aerosmith cover-ish, but the band seems to be called Penhaligon's Kraken. They're all they're a good name, right? They're all dressed as priests, and they got like horror, like vampire stuff all over them. It's brilliant. It's prime for a tavern in a demon-infested wasteland.
It is. It's quite quite Tudory.
It is a bit, isn't it? Here, let's sit down. Do you mind if we sit at this table with you? No, I don't mind at all.
Who are you?
My name is Tom Hamilton.
Would you like another go at that?
My name is Tom Hamilton.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm writing a sneaky review of Penhaligon's Kraken from my fanzine, Sniffing Socks.
Well, I'm Nathan, and this is Brendan, and these are
I
all.
don't care. I'm busy with my review.
I know these are our 35 friends.
Oh shit! Potter's got herself into some trouble already. No way! You lines from the song. Insert lines from the song.
Oh, don't tell me. I could have any girl here, but it's your lucky night.
Yeah. Don't get fresh with me.
Don't get fresh with me.
Slap.
Francis.
I only wanted your autograph. Temporary member Ashley came by for day and got her signature, and if I've got you, I've got best too. Oh, sorry. I thought you were a mucky hand holder.
Alida Swart and Sharon Selby are sat right there as well.
Oh.
We've not got eyes on Alison Potter at the minute. Frances is just annoyed because she was the second eliminee in the sponsor race, so she's just ready for a fight. She said,
she's glassed him.
She isn't going to. No, well, she just told me in secret that she wasn't going to glass him, but it looks like the bar lady's coming over now.
Do not have to go. This might be a demon-infested wasteland, but we cannot accept that kind of 90s shenanigan. You're not Robert Carlyle from Trainspotting. Get out. Cue sounds of us being thrown out. Hold on. What are these? They're not little people, they're tiny people. I think that's an acceptable phrase. What are these tiny people doing, just passed out drunk in the street?
There's loads of everybody watch your feet.
Tilda Swinton. What's Tilda Swinton? She's from Vanilla, right? Tilda, can you wake up some of these tiny drunks?
Tilda Swinton. Exactly.
I will. I'll wake them up.
My Bearshifts is here too. And Snaggy.
Woof, woof. We're here. Woof, woof. Well, while they're doing that, why don't we take ourselves to the side and have a look at the Mauditorium for some actual Maud-related content in this episode. So give me a number between 1 and 300.
87. We're compared to last episode. We're so close to content.
Oh shit! I think I just deleted all of the. Oh no, 87.
Tom Hamilton.
Maud holds her nose when dealing with Homer. Does she try to see the best in people or give him another chance?
I am going to need Maud holds her nose when dealing with Homer. Is that a phrase or is that literal?
I
don't remember any nose holding because I believe we would have said my Maud's got no nose.
How does she
And
smell?
I don't remember that.
No,
So,
I think it's a metaphor for it's an idiom meaning to deal with someone.
Yeah, like she's just getting through the situation. I agree with that. I don't think she does try to see the best in people, though. I think that's Ned's forte. I think Maude, again, she's already been sent off to be less judgmental of her. We know how she's treated Marge in the past. She followed her to the bathroom. So I don't think she does try and see the best in people. She's no interest in giving Homer, like, she gave Homer one chance once, I would say, and then that was
the
it.
chance? What was the chance she gave?
Believe it or not, it was birthing Todd.
That's quite a big chance, isn't it, to be honest?
It is. It's a big chance to take, but it's sort of Todd was being birthed regardless of Homer being in the room. It's just the problem. You know,
But he did
pair of
okay.
hands.
He did okay with it, right? Oh,
Spoilers.
The image of Homer having a second pair of hands in there.
Yes, that is intense. No, he did a good job, and we'll come up to that in season 28 of the Maude-cast. But
this is her having given him a second chance. And she still despises him.
Well, interestingly, because of the way time works and flashbacks and stuff, by the time we meet Maude in season 2, he's already on his second chance, basically, because the other stuff's already happened. So no more chances for Homer. She goes into from the get-go, she's like, nah, this guy's a clown. I don't know what Ned's doing, but I'm not wasting any more time on this family.
So in her diary, she's a cantankerous cow who definitely does not see the best in anyone. But in the show, she does seem to be a slightly more forgiving character. Are there any people that she has given a second chance to in the show?
Homer.
Other than the example that we just dwelled on.
No, I don't think she is that sympathetic. I think she's just quieter. I think it would be too Maude-cast if we found out in every scene what Maude thought of who was on screen. But I don't think there's no one we can actively say, oh, she forgave them, other than Ned for abandoning them that time and driving to a mental hospital or marrying another woman, but she didn't know about that. But no, I'd say she's never forgiven Homer and Marge because she still treats them with hostility, but she just sort of lets her guard down every now and again.
When she meets new people and the people she's on the fence, she's a glass half empty or a glass half full kind of character.
I would say that she goes in with a predetermined judgment based on appearance. So if she saw someone, I don't know, but again, there is still the Christian. So if she saw somebody who looked scruffy and unkept, but was clearly doing all right, let's say Mo.
A guest star.
Yeah, she saw Mo, she'd be like, okay, I'm going to judge this guy. But if she saw an actual homeless person, she wouldn't judge them. She would have the Flanders Christianity to help them. But if she sees somebody who's just a mess because they want to be.
Because they want to be, because that's how those people are.
Yes, Homer, Mo, Krusty, etc., Barney.
Homer's brother, they washed his feet.
Yeah, they believed him to be a homeless man, so there was no judgment there. They took in a man who looked like he was downtrodden, so that was a good example of her not judging someone. She didn't judge Gibson the time that she saw him in that.
She did not judge Gibson. Hopefully she didn't agree with Gibson either, but anyway, that's a good sign to move on to the content.
It is.
While Penhaligon's Kraken have taken a little bit of a break, maybe you can put a little bit of AI-generated metal music just before what I'd said, and then they can say, oh no, we got kicked out of the bar, so it doesn't matter. It's all right.
It's possible they will just be playing in the background throughout the last 5 minutes.
Content. Why don't you give the people, I haven't said this for a while, why don't you give the people some context for this content?
Usually by the time we get to content, we're exhausted.
But we're not today. We've got all kinds of energy.
Exactly. Shoddy Maudes. We're still in Shoddy Maud land. I'd say we're ending phase 2 of the MCU today, the Maude-cast. That was cheap. But this is the end of what I would call the ignorance of Maude. We've got a couple of just more slight references / pictures and then a bombshell to end with, and that's all I would like to say on the matter.
Brilliant. I'm doing an unrelated action.
Excellent. That's always good. Just open as many Maude-casts as you can.
No, that's not what I'm doing. Just don't listen to him, YouTube.
Well, we did have 2 popular drag queens mention Maude this week, Tia Coffey and Yua Hamasaki. And then one of them, which I've already told you, but I'm going to tell you again.
Tell the viewers again, all those hundreds of viewers.
All those hundreds of views. There's no view without you. I asked just because they were on Instagram Live and there weren't that many people in the chat, I tried my luck and asked them both how they felt about the death of Maude Flanders, and they both responded with their opinions. One of them saying it was a tragedy, the other one said, I don't know who that is. The English one...
I agree with both of them.
Yes, English Queen knew Maude, American Queen did not, which is interesting. But yeah, then a Simpsons...
What does that say about the drag queen community?
It says that they are well respected,
diverse in their Maude thoughts.
Yes, it is indeed an umbrella when it comes to Maude opinions. And then a Simpsons Drag Race group hosted the Tea of Coffee one.
A Simpsons Drag Race group. Now, what a world we live in where there's a RuPaul's Drag Race fans group based on the Simpsons, and we got a moment in the sun.
Oh yes, there's also a Twin Peaks Drag Race group that I am on Facebook called Firework with Me. Work spelled WERK.
Oh, I like that. That's good times. Clip 1, season 16, episode 8. And Ned and Homer's Hail Mary Pass. A very ducky Maude of EDM on the wall behind Ned as he turns to the boys in the living room. Classic BOTHS's. There's nothing but filth on TV, he says as Ducky Maude watches on, no doubt agreeing with his show called Jamity that is freeze framed on the screen.
Yeah, I think it's some kind of pill, but it's a very cheap joke. I'll mention this in clip 3, but we're in a territory of Simpsons here that is probably the weakest. So,
well, there's no Maude. I like your theory that the Simpsons died with Maude, and that that the best joke of the post Maude Simpsons was when Colonel Skinner told that to Evolve to chew his ball sack.
Yes, exactly. This shoddy Maude shows how far we've come since season 11. Like season 11, prior to her death, she was a thriving member of Springfield's community, and she was there for like 10 episodes in a row. Just like not for what's the opposite of front and center?
Into the side.
Back into the side. That's exactly where she was. That's like she was just a full-hearted member of that community, and now look where we are. All the rest of them are still members of Springfield's community. They're all still mobbing and showing up, like Luann, Mr. Largo. And look at where we've got with Maude now. They can't even be asked to draw her. They just think like, well, this kind of people know who we're going for. Just big eyes and a big mouth. She hasn't even got a nose.
My Maude's got no nose.
How does she smell? Jamity. Yeah, it's
travesty, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the version of remembering her.
But bear in mind that I think the last episode was season 14, like episode 12 or something. So which means that it's been very close to 2 full seasons since we've seen any reference to Maude whatsoever.
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing. And I went back and double checked again. There was absolutely nothing in season 15. Like you barely see Ned's house, and the few times that you do, you see like worse than this, just like picture frames with shadows in them, or like, to be fair, there's one in the next clip under the Maude one that is of Rod and Todd, and it's just silhouettes.
Yes, just two humps.
Yeah,
my lovely Roddy humps.
It's just two broccolis.
They do want some damn vegetables.
So I think this is them kind of saying, oh, like, we need to fill this wall with pictures. Oh yeah, Ned had a wife, didn't he, a few years ago, like Marge or something. John, I look back at, she had like red hair or something, didn't she, and like a mouth and eyes. Did she have a nose? I can't remember. Don't put one on.
Just in case. She has got a little nose. I think you're being a bit harsh. There is a little bump.
And then they just send it off to some Korean people in a studio who don't give a shit about her.
What?
And this is what we end up with.
I'm sorry.
I imagine there's two to three Korean people in that studio who care about what they're producing when it comes to Maude. Maude Flanders has South Korea.
There we go. I wonder what all the fuss is about. Ghana has revenge against Uruguay and Portugal. Homer is Uruguay. Ned Flanders is Portugal. Maude Flanders is South Korea, and Bart and Marge is Ghana. So I think that's put that rumor to bed about the Koreans not loving it. But he was something from the Greensboro News and Record about contract negotiations. South Korean animators keep Simpsons moving. It takes 9 to 16 weeks to complete one episode of The Simpsons.
I wonder if we can track down the animator that did the Death Fall.
I don't think it's done that way. I think that the whole team gets something like that. That wouldn't make sense, would it? They have to.
I would think like maybe a team of like, in primary school when different tables do different things.
Oh yeah, this is what it's like.
Like that with the same age group.
But
I give them this stuff. These kids can draw or Maude most of the time.
Kirkland has a deep appreciation for distant Korean animators, the distant Korean animators. I'm sure they'll turn up in season 10.
The GCAs.
Flashback. Some years ago, before he lost her / forgot about her and left her in a Vietnamese jungle, a young Ham Jr. asks his mother Helen Handbasket Ham for a bedtime story.
Ham Jr. Tell us a story, please, Mother. Okay. It has been many years since I came to this planet, and I learned a lot, and I will tell you a story now that I learned the hard way. I will not tell you that story, because first, I must tell you this story.
On the watermelon planet.
Creature who lives in this watermelon planet is a large lumbering beast known as the Vine Lord. The Vine Lord is a hulking quadrupedal creature covered in thick, ropey vines that trail behind it like a tail. Its body is covered in rough and bumpy skin that resembles the rind of a watermelon, with a mottled green and white coloration that helps it blend in with the surrounding vegetation. Mummy, I'm scared. Don't worry, it's real. The Vine Lord has a broad, flat face and a wide mouth full of sharpy, pointed teeth. Its eyes are small and beady and set deep within its skull. Despite its menacing appearance, the Vine Lord is a herbivore, but it would still eat you children, using its powerful jaws to crush tough plants and vines into a pulp before swallowing them whole. And watermelons? Yes, Jimmy, watermelons. Oh, I'm scared, Mummy. But please continue. In terms of behavior, the Vine Lord is a solitary creature, preferring to spend its time in the dense, tangled forests that cover much of the watermelon planet's surface. It is a slow-moving and lumbering beast, relying on its thick vines and tough hide to protect it from predators. When threatened, the Vine Lord would lash out with its powerful jaws and thrashing vines, but generally prefers to avoid conflict wherever possible. Time for bed now, children. But we're terrified. It was like that Simpsons episode where all our eyes are open. And now back to the regular service.
Exactly.
You have to put in a bit before it says, meanwhile, on the watermelon planet. Season 16, episode 20. Season 16, episode 20. Homer away from home. An excited R&T run off to Ned, who is holding... Run off. Ned is holding a sleeping Magagi. No baptism this time round, I ask. A ducky Maude now high up above the tea, but fully consistent with the one from the last 12 episodes back. Last time we saw her.
Yes.
Marge penis her approaches. Ned, let me give you a little something for...
Ned, let me give you a little something from babysitting Haynes.
Hands him about $1. Oh, I can't take money from a neighbor, Diddley Reno. Looks down sad. Although business at the leftatorium has been pretty slow since that big chain store came to town. We pan past Maudey. Somebody still loves her. So the quick pan. We do get another glance of Maudey. But we, like you said, we're going to get the broccoli, Rod and Todd. Cut away to this huge chain store left means.
I think it's called Leftopolis, which again, this isn't funny.
I don't think it is. But it cut away and I say, is this just a little joke or is it integral to the story of this episode?
A bit from column A, a bit from column B. This episode is about Ned leaving Springfield. Ned, Ron, and Todd just leave town because they're sick of... Oh yeah, the clip 3 is also from this episode, so I'll come back to that in a minute. But what happens in clip 3 is enough for Ned to be like, I'm out of here. Not his wife being murdered by the next door neighbour, this. So they leave, but I think it sort of, they've tied it in with him getting rid of the Leftorium because of this chain store, so it was easier. I don't know why it would matter logically.
Does he ever come back? Is that the end of the Leftorium?
No, it continues for ages. Like, it ends up as a like a stall. At the end, like outside, like in the mall, but not a shop.
That's an interesting arc. mark, like a little
Yeah, I don't know why.
like a stand.
And then he gets rid of it when he becomes the fourth grade teacher.
How long does that last for?
It's like 2 seasons. They replaced Edna with Ned, and then which they'd already done with that, like when Skinner gets fired, when Willie drops on Chalmers, and they replace him with Ned, and then it becomes like he tells a prayer, so Chalmers fires, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. Like they've got a new teacher now called Miss Payton, and she replaced Ned, and I'm pretty sure they just did the same thing to get rid of Ned. Like,
how much do you think they put Ned and Edna together so they could call them Nedna? Because Nord was never used.
Nord. Yeah, no, Nedna is good.
Did they use Nedna? Did they say Nedna often in the show?
No, they did it like once or twice. It will come up. It was more of a internet. I think it was just supposed to be a random episode, like how they do like Selma and X, Y, or Z get together, and then by the end of the episode they've moved on.
Oh yeah.
But I think they sort of saw something. Be in a second, but it's only going to take me a minute. But I wanted to finish this point first, but then I started thinking about coffee.
Saw something, you say?
They did.
In Ned and Edna. Nedna, we were talking about Nedna and how it was a one-off episode, and then they saw something.
I think just because it would be nice to let Ned be happy, they decided, and Edna too, to be honest, because Edna and Skinner were as definitive as Ned and Maude as a couple for a while. Like it would be hard if you look at the early episodes, you wouldn't see Ned and Edna as a couple that would ever be considered because they were both coupled up. So it's not something that was even thought about. Then it came about just because of they broke up Edna and Skinner, pretty much for the same reason that they didn't have Ned date anybody. For a while, they didn't want to just become too like samey. I think they thought, right, we don't actually want Edna and Skinner to get married. So instead of just having them break up, at the end of that episode, they put it out to like an audience vote for like, because that was the last episode of the season, and they were like, before the start of the next season, we like if you vote yes or no to Nedna, and if it's yes, we'll keep them together. If it's no, that's the end of the story. So I think it's the only time in history that the fans have affected the story, because it was voted a definitive yes on Nedna. One of those votes coming from me.
Nice.
I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, that we'll come back to that. I think that might be in this season, to be honest, the Nedna stuff. But that happened when I was at yours in Japan in 2011, I think. Around that time, I sort of remember I tied voting for Nedna specifically to Japan.
Well, it all worked out in the end for them, didn't it? Clip 3.
And we haven't even mentioned clip.
What's that?
We didn't even talk about clip 2. We just started talking about Nedna.
No, we did was you're right. He's babysitting Magagi, and Penis her Marge tries to give him some money, and he says no, and looks sad because Leftorium's bombing.
Yeah. My only note about this, I have 2 notes. I don't think they knew what to do with Maude in these seasons, and they had a conflict of, is it better to bring her up or forget her completely? Like, there's no balance. Like the Sarah episode that we looked at last time with the movie star, they mentioned her like 5 times, but this episode is a Ned episode, and she's not acknowledged at all in the story, and she's barely, like, they've kind of half drawn her.
It is a half drawing. It's better than the last one, but it's not very good, and it's not really very Maudey, to be honest.
No, so it's completely the opposite, like just no reference to him ever having a wife or them ever having a mother, but they do start to find a good balance with it from the next Ned, Rod, Todd episodes onwards. They seem to find a way of not, like, every time Ned's in it, basically, every time there's a Ned episode from now on, there pretty much is some sort of reference to Maude in some way. But in these few seasons, they were just completely ignoring that he ever had a wife. Probably because, again, it's sort of maybe just around, this might be just pre-DVD time, so it was before the sort of grand rewatching of The Simpsons, so they probably just sort of thought people have probably forgotten about Maude now because there's no rewatching really. There's like, I suppose, yeah, there's episodes like in syndication and stuff, or not in the sense you can go on Disney Plus now and familiarise yourself with Maude as quickly as you want to, whereas back then you might catch a glimpse of it. So maybe it was a way to try and make people less confused, like, who the hell is this woman with Ned? Where is she in the present time?
Where is she in the present time? Why are all the other characters alive and she's dead?
Yeah.
Question I've asked. What had happened Well, at least half of the drag queens know how to locate that information at this point.
Exactly.
But let's hope one day it gets to 100%.
Yes, Viv still thinks Maude is one of Marge's sisters.
Well,
But
I'm not going to spoil that for her.
Yeah, as someone who has actively never watched The Simpsons, the fact that she sort of knows that Marge has sisters is kind of impressive.
Very impressive. It's the single most impressive thing I've ever heard.
That's why she's a contestant in the sponsor.
Put 3.
There we go.
Bart and Milhouse are watching a computer, a Mac, an old one, I say. They are on sexyslumberparty.com. There's some ladies on there giggling in their undies and hitting each other with pillows. Katya says, "You think anyone's watching?" We notice quite clearly Rod and Todd's picture on the wall with a Flanders family portrait in the background. I didn't notice it the first time, actually, until Ned walked in, so it's quite good. Katya, if they are watching, they will see us explore our sexhood without restraint. But, hey, is this one of these dirty websites? Millhouse, 2 girls, who would want that? Ugh. Back to the web. There is a knock at the door. The girls put on dressing gowns, glasses, and mortarboards. They get out a book, one of whom is titled Book. "Yes, you may inside come." Enter Ned. "I got 5 beta cappuccinos for Ned's pre-meds." Shocked, Bart and Milhouse shout, "Flanders!" Ned on screen says, "That's odd. I could have sworn I just heard someone shriek my name." We see across into the real-life room. "You heard nothing," screams Bart. Ned chuckles. Oh, that is better. Jerkass Homer wails in. "Flanders!" he shouts. The girls are back. Cut. Is there a cut there? The girls are back in sexy dress, and one has a big arrow saying sexy. They are dancing on the beds in night dresses as Neddy is gargling in the bathroom. Though they die, the tribe in. Did they get changed in 2 seconds, I say, or is there was a cut in the middle of that clip? Milhouse helpfully continues to spell out this joke for us by saying, "He doesn't even know what's going on."
Yeah, this technically should have been 3 clips, but I was like, no, we are not wasting any more time for the necessary.
We are not dying today for this, man.
This might be our lowest day for us and for them. This whole scene just reeks of Family Guy. Like them, this is that time when Family Guy. It was like a ratings race or whatever. Our Family Guy was sort of on level of the same popularity, so they started to try and be edgier, darker, whatever. Yeah, but with still the many boundaries they have in place, so it can still be The Simpsons. It just doesn't work. It's not funny. Not funny. This is my least favourite clip in Maude-cast history. It's very long, and there isn't a single line in it that made my mouth move. There is the only funny thing, and I didn't have to cut it out, but I cut it out for time. Was there's a bit where one of them is spanking the other one with just a picture of Todd.
that is inappropriately funny.
Yeah, and
obviously
this is enough for Ned to be like, because basically the entire town's watching this website, and they all know about it except for Ned. So he then gets annoyed at the entire town and leaves. And that's basically all I have to say on the matter. This is definitively my least favourite clip we will ever look at.
I don't think so. I think it's slightly amusing. It's very predictable, but it's also something that I wouldn't have expected The Simpsons to do. And it's mildly amusing.
It's both predictable and something I wouldn't have expected.
That's kind of best of both worlds, isn't it? I got 5 beta cappuccinos. I had to rewind it several times to work out what kind of cappuccinos he brought them, and I still don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, what I did like is her turn of phrase, the catcher, I imagine is German. He's using German grammar, and therefore it sounds a bit smutty. Yes, we have an F and X. F-U-N-E-X.
Is that why she says "you may inside come"? Because I thought that was just sort of like low-level racism. Like, oh, look, she can't do English properly.
Well, no, she's speaking it literal translation from German, right? That's the joke, because the way it's dirtier that way.
I see. And also, Maud is there in the background, just a very smudged.
Oh yes, that's the whole reason why we're talking about this clip, right? So there is in the back. But on the back wall, there is a family portrait in which we see a very smudgy Maude, Ned, Rod, and Todd, but it's there.
Yeah, and I think this is one of the conscious Maude choices because it makes it more degrading for Ned. Like, it's already degrading, but now it's also happening in front of a picture of his dead wife. Like, the family unit that he used to have, and now he's in a situation where the wife's dead and he's got 2 students living with him who are like, what's that thing? OnlyFans in. It's odd, and a dark
The
day for
original
household.
Odd Couple.
Yes, exactly.
Surely it would have been more amusing had they just stuck around.
It would be fun if it stuck around as regular characters and become
The golden hearted hooker is a trope, right?
Yes, but I do think it's quite mean to lie to Ned so that they can live there and pretend that they're students, knowing that they're lying to him because they know that he would hate what was happening. So they're very disrespectful of Ned. And also, yeah, just holding up an arrow that says sexy. Why is brushing his teeth? You shouldn't even be, if they're going to do it, why are they involving Ned? Why have they not taken out, like, there's pictures of children up on the wall. Like, there's certain things that are just too disrespectful. Like,
I don't
if
think
you're going to do this, just take the family photos off the wall.
I didn't get that the arrow was pointed to Ned, but that is more funny now.
It's just, yeah, it's just disrespectful on all levels.
Before we are now a full season later into season 17, so basically we've only seen blurry images and nothing of Maude for the last 3 seasons. When is this Roswell-essence you talk about? Bart has 2 mummies, exterior of Flanders' house, Rod and Todd's bedrooms. They are kneeling and saying nightly prayers when Maude, ka-ching, Marge watches on, smiling. And thanks. You start, Rod. Thanks for letting Mrs. Simpson come over. It was the most fun we've had since Mommy was here. Oh, sad. Oh, good. A good grumble from Marge. Todd continues, and could you ask Mommy to come to Daddy in a dream and tell him how to cut our sandwiches? Ooh, good grumble number 2. Who does Rod and Todd's voices? Can't, right?
What a time to ask that question this many episodes in. It's only just become of interest to you. I think Rod is Pamela Hayden, who is Milhouse, and Todd is Nancy Cartwright.
Oh, so it's not the same person?
No, and they do have sort of distinctively, sort of similar to how Kirk and Milhouse are Pamela Hayden and Kazarian.
Right.
And Milhouse doesn't sound Indian at all. But
not anymore.
No, their voices are sort of vaguely like there's a similarity, there's a recurring theme. Like they're good at doing that actually. Like Nelson's mum will sound like Nelson, but it's a different actress, etc.
That's clever. They get someone else basically to do an impression of the other person doing the voice, maybe.
Yeah, and that's what Roswell said about Luann, was that she was going to make Luann sound more like Milhouse, but then Azaria got to do Kirk first, and Kirk sounds like Milhouse, so she felt like she had to go in a different route, so she went for like a well-spoken, like kind of posh voice. Yeah,
which was good because that became more or less the story then, didn't it? Luann was a little like Kirk was the loser and Luann was like the good one in the family. Although yes. I'm sure that they probably would have done that anyway.
I'm disrespectful to Kirk. It's been 6 years in real time since Maude died. Like the time thing, it's weird. These are our biggest jumps as well. Like our season 6 or whatever was focused on like half of one season, and now we've skipped like 6 years. Like since our last episode, we've skipped like 3.5 years in real time where Maude has not been discussed or seen or anything at all. So they are few and even though they seem connected because we are looking at them in sequence, they are very few and far between in real time.
But you've done the Lord's work by collecting them all together here in this one thing. So those videos you've got of all the Maude clips, do you have ones up there that have all of this stuff in or not yet?
I have something called All Maudes Ever, but I think I have like the first 3 of those done. So basically I have up to about season 11 of everything, and then I have not got round to doing anything right because I still kept finding stuff as well, so I held off on the post 11 stuff. But the video I uploaded onto my YouTube like 5-6 years ago, whenever it was, is declared to be like everything Maude's in, and it's not even close.
Not even close. But it will be one day. You'll have it all up there, right?
Oh yeah, one day there'll be like a 45-minute long video that's just Maude.
Beautiful. That will justify this 200 hours that we've spent on Maude season clip 5. Well, no, for clip 4. So Rod and Todd, they've not had much fun. This is the most fun they've had with Marge. But since Mummy was here, so it's not as much fun as Mummy, which is interesting. I want to know more about that. And although they clearly miss Mummy, they know that they can request from God for her to come down and, like, you know, have a chat with Dad in dreams and stuff. So so that's an interesting idea as well.
Yeah, I'm into this. This is more like it. We are back in business. This is the first time, other than Todd having like a fever dream when he was ill and saying "mommy," this is the first time in 6 years that Rod or Todd have directly addressed the fact that they had a mother who died. That they've never acknowledged it before.
And this is the same episode where Roswell's back.
Spoilers. Yes. This sort of reinforces as well. I don't know what the word is, but I wrote "mum widow." They are firmly fine and comfortable with they've got very real and very factual knowledge that Maud is fine and living in like paradise, basically.
That's right. There isn't a word for that, right?
Mum widow.
For losing one parent, there isn't a word.
Yeah, like half orphan, demi orphan.
No, it's not. That's not a real word.
No. But yeah, they like say this was Milhouse or Nelson or anything, they'd have no hope. But Rod and Todd have just a very, and again, that's probably one of the things that led to them deciding that it would be okay to kill Maud in general. Like, if they didn't have a religious family, no one would have died. But because they were like, well, we could actually kill Maud and it wouldn't affect Rod and Todd too much in this cartoon sitcom, where it wouldn't be sad every time you saw Rod and Todd.
It would be almost amusing once you got over that initial shock that essentially that not only do they talk to their mum and think that she's just, you know, upstairs, we can also cut to her and have her interact with. In fact, if we want to go the whole hog, we can just have her come back whenever we want as a ghost or a dream.
Yeah, and it feels like this is the episode where they realised that. Like, Roswell has been back on the show for like a year now at least, playing Helen and Luann, but I still think they thought, oh, we better shy away from Maud because it's kind of sad that we killed her. And then I think they probably just had, like, actually, we could just show her in heaven, actually. Like, we've shown heaven before, like, the religious. That's what Ned, Rod and Todd thinks happened. Why don't we just show it?
Yeah, and the boys fully believe that she's there. So that's, and again, as the only religious kind of characters.
Yeah, I think it's also like once they're opening the door to the opportunity to do it here. Like, once they've done it, there's no reason to not think of that idea. Like, that's no longer off the table. So every time now they have a Ned or Rod or Todd episode, or even like a Ned, Rod or Todd line or joke, they have access to Maud again.
Beautiful.
Because they've realised they just can. Also, that's a VCT, a very cute Todd.
It is. He's tiny, isn't he?
Tiny
Todd.
Too
Too fag on Todd. And the Maud is open, shall we say?
Cold mid.
Cold mid. I put this in alongside the watermelon story that's already in the cold mid as well. There's nothing we like more than breaking up our content chat with multiple unrelated sketches.
It was 35 minutes into the first episode before we got to content.
Shibush. Shibush. That's boosh, innit? We're there now.
Budgetless boosh. They're on the bake-off.
Hey, what am I doing here? My privileged upbringing means that I, now Space Jesus 2, should not be in my spaceship crashed on a desert effing island. There's growth, weeds, and debris everywhere, and malnourished animals roaming the area looking for bones and shit. I'm a billionaire. I'm also Space Jesus, and I own this island. How in heaven, heck, and hell did he get to this place? This place is a mess. I'm walking into the headquarters of a man in charge. Who's this? You look like a normal man, sitting on a throne of debris. Nice throne, normal man. How's the island ruining business going, normal man?
I don't answer to you, Jeff. Scaramouche may have trusted you, but I'm in charge now, and I don't have to listen to your complaints. You look like Richard Madeley, by the way.
Fine by me. I just used my billions to fix this mess myself. That exterior island day. I'm assembling a team, paying team of monkeys and of animals to fix this effing island, and no one gets to wee till it's finished. I'll be using my wealth to fund the operation and also my omnipotence as Space Jesus 2 clone. The island will begin to thrive. I look forward into the future. Oh, you've done a great job, everyone. Oh, thanks, Jeff. Come with me, my team. We're gonna confront Normal Man again. Hey, looks like money can buy anything, even a normal functioning ecosystem.
You haven't seen the last of me.
Ha 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 ha. Please, Norm, you're not even worth my time. No, I didn't say anything. Shut up and ever.
Fade out.
As we move on to clip 5 from the same episode, season 17, episode 14, Bart has 2 mummies. Ned unhappy side-eyes Marge as the end credits roll. We pan up to see Bart and Rod clambering up some scaffolding a little bit higher. Mr. Cigarettes, the monkey, and another rapper at the top of the clock tower, church tower. We go up through the sky, several layers of cloud, space, more cloud, to Maude, freeze frame, Maude, with the name Hank Azaria all over it.
Yes. Well, I'll jump in there before you get to the dialogue then. As a teen Simpsons fan, because this would have been like when I was like 15, 16 maybe. Like I don't know if this is illegal information, but I used to use like Watch Simpsons online. And it always cuts, it doesn't show you the credits, it cuts off at the end of the episode before the credits. So I'd never got to see this this was like a mythical, like I knew this existed, but I just could not get access to it in like
pre-internet in the year 2012.
Well, this was like 2005, and it was the internet wasn't accessible in the way that now I can just go on Disney Plus and watch this. Like it took
back then.
Took a while to get hold of it.
This is episode season 17, so this would be 2007.
No, I think it worked. I think the years are a bit not exactly like 17-7. I'll tell you now. I feel like it was 2005, 2006. It began on Sunday, September the 11th, 2005. Ooh. Yeah, this episode is like March 2006.
So yeah,
we've
got
20.
Well, we've got Maudey. Yeah, ages ago. Bloody ages. We've got Maudey hanging in the clouds. She's in the clouds in a classic outfit. Behind her are green rolling hills, angelic sounds, and she speaks. How long has it been, I say? My little boys are growing up. Hey, I'll say, approaches Robert Hope. I haven't seen climbing like that since Dudley Moore married Susan Anton. Judgment comes down heavily on Bob Hope. Oh, God is well into it. Oh, Bob, why did I wait 100 years to get you up here? Bob sounding a heck of a lot like Quimby. I thought maybe they got Bob to do the line before he died. But no, it's definitely whoever does Quimby.
Yeah, it is, yeah. It's Castellaneta.
Castellaneta. You're telling me now I can look down Dolly Parton's Padres whenever I want. Rawr. Guys, I'm trying to watch this. Roswell, I ask. But that ain't Dakotan, I say. You get a bit rusty there, Maggie? Hey, I'm sorry, Bob says. What got into her, says God. They turn. Proper evil's thrown. Her kid's fruitier than Carmen Miranda's hat rack, says Robert Hope as he walks off.
And we are back.
And we are back.
I have the information you need. I have the Statman Johns right here.
Bring it.
The last time that we personally had a Maggie Roswell delivered Maud line, not counting spooky evil ghost Maud, just regular Maud Flanders, was in our season 7 episode 3, which was May 2022. So it's been 16 episodes since we have heard Maggie Roswell play Maud.
And almost a year.
As a human being. Well, a human going. So that's crazy. This whole thing is great for us. This is the beginning of phase 3 of the
beginning of the end?
It is. It's the beginning of the end of our journey, but it's only the beginning.
Of the end.
Of the end. It seems to me this clip is sort of a full circle closure and potentially an apology to Roswell and Maude for her comedy shoddy death. For 6 years now, there's been some level of speculation as what's happened. Like, is Maude just dead then? And now, no, she is in heaven and she is doing fine. So is this them saying like Maude is now just a participant like we are? She is just watching The Simpsons unfold. So is this them sort of giving Ned permission to continue living a life without any kind of we know Maude's fine, we know she's doing okay, so now we can accept Ned moving on?
Could well be. And maybe you're overthinking a little bit there. Maybe they were just like, Roswell's back, let's have Maude look down from heaven.
Yeah, and this is the first ever Rod episode. It's kind of Bart gets kidnapped by a gorilla who wants to be his mother, but somehow it's also about Rod, and Rod is the one who ends up. It turns out Mr. Teeny, the smoking monkey, is this gorilla's real son, and it's Rod. It sounds very cast. Rod gets Mr. Teeny to the monkey to save Bart, and they've obviously had that line where Rod and Todd said, like, thanks for bringing Marge around. We had a lot of fun today, which shows that they used to love spending time with Maude. They used to have fun with the mum.
That's the other question, yeah. So what did Marge do with them? And what was a more fun thing that Maude did than that?
I think Marge, the only thing I remember her doing properly is they made like paper plate faces, and Marge made Darth Vader and said, "I'm a Star Wars." I remember that. And I think Rod and Todd just do like two generic. They do actually. They just make two generic smiley faces, like eyes and a smile. And Rod says, "I'm my brother Todd," and Todd says, "I'm my brother Rod." There's just like, so she just spends the day doing like mild things with them.
All right, so it's all good, clean fun. And what do you think Maude did that was more fun than that? Or did she just do the same stuff, but she just loved them more?
I think she just understood them more as well. Like, they're very scared children. Like, their idea of fun isn't what other kids like. They had to treat them differently to Bart and Lisa, and that probably took some adapting from Marge. Whereas Maude would just know they would like and not like.
That's a classic picture there of I'd have that poster on my wall, or even as an album cover of Maude Flanders with just Hank Azaria big letters.
Yeah, it looks like she's looking at it as well.
It's very cutie Maude in the distance. It's a really good picture, but then some proper evils thrown here. But those eyes.
Here we go. I'll send you this picture now. This will go in the thing. I do like they say, "I'm my brother Rod." Like, no, he has to specify which Rod.
Yeah, I remember that. It's very cute.
Yeah, that's the kind of fun they have. So yeah, Marge had to adapt, whereas Maude didn't have to adapt because she knew
that's good writing though. That all of the scenes are someone who hears and understands the Flanders family.
Yeah, this episode already feels like it's got a lot more heart than the last two Ned episodes. Like, this one feels like sort of genuinely sincere and more like the thing with them praying. There's not really a joke, but it's worth putting in there because it's sincere.
Do you think they've got over their Family Guy thing at this point, and they're like, we can't be the Family Guy. We should be the Simpsons?
I think it's hit and miss still, but I think the episodes where they just must have certain writers who know how to tap into the character stuff rather than just let's have like Homer fight a bear this week, which is one of the episodes. Here's something that we didn't expect when we started this journey, except I did because I knew that we would eventually come to it. Maud is now friends enough with God that she can refer to him as guys and yell at him.
Yes, you did say about that, the yelling.
So now this opens up the theory that Maud might have been the luckiest woman in Springfield, because this is exactly what she wanted her entire life, and not only did she get it, she got it quicker than Ned. Like, the goal was to be friends with God, and she is now friends with God. She has achieved the storyline that was set out for Maud at the start.
We speculated, so she come full circle. She's finished her arc, which is beautiful. We'd like to see what happens beyond that. But we speculated earlier when she was reading magazines and kept referring to life after life. And she got what she wanted. She got a wish. Go fish, right?
Yeah, this is exactly like you say. Like, she's mentioned it prior to passing, like wondering what heaven's going to be like, etc. And like, it's kind of great for her. She's literally just hanging around on a cloud, watching. It's just heaven. It's heaven.
It's just heaven.
Yeah, it's just your bog standard heaven. And it is funny that like they did that whole episode where everybody, because of Maude, got to see heaven, but you still never saw Maude in heaven. And now you get to see Maude's heaven, and it's just heaven.
but still, it looks like something else is happening over there.
Yeah, I have two more things to say before that happens. Is Bob Hope now Maud's Helen?
Bob Hope's Maud's new Helen?
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it? Oh no, I already read the other thing. The other thing was about how long it's been since Maude has spoken for us. But yeah, the last time Maude spoke as Maude, as Maggie Roswell, not as a ghost, was when she said Homer's a critic, pass it on, in like the start of like season 11. So it's been like 7 years. That's probably why it's a bit of a rough going on the dial.
Oh yeah, on that.
delivery.
Do you think it's markedly unmodish?
I think it's still in there. I still think you've got there's not really, guys, I'm trying to watch this. There's not a lot to Dakota-ize.
How would you say it?
Guys, I'm trying to watch this.
No, you wouldn't. Do the voice.
I'm trying. My little boy's growing up.
There you go.
Guys, I'm trying to watch this.
There you go. She didn't do any of that, did she?
No, so maybe she just, first of all, she's probably still a bit bitter that, like, it's got to sting a little bit. Do you remember that whole thing we fired you for? Do you want to just carry on doing it now?
Contract negotiations, mate, innit?
And also not credited as special guest voice for playing somebody that is a special guest. But that's another thing as well. Like, I think the first time this came out, or it might have been the Halloween one, but there's one where they credited her as a special guest star, and then when they put it out in syndication, they'd removed that and just put her in as a recurring guest star.
Well, maybe that's down to her contract. Yeah, maybe it's at that point it wasn't sure, or they gave her that as a special thing before she came back. But
it's fun to speculate on whether or not she practiced being Maude before she did those two lines. I don't think she did, though.
I don't think she did. I don't think she practiced Maude. I don't think she listened back to any Maude. Maggie, you're wonderful, but that is burly MMG level Maude.
Sadly, yes, and only two lines as well to say that she's like, they put too much focus on Bob Hope and God here. They
Bob
should
Hope
have
got more lines.
Yeah, if we're going to see Maude in heaven, like,
do we see Maude in heaven anymore without giving too many spoilers?
Yes,
and
it
that's
is.
good.
But yeah, they could have, like, they've not really made heaven catered to Maude, but that's fine. And also, I like that she's just in her regular clothes. They haven't even gotten for the whole, like, this implies that she's not an angel.
It implies that she's not.
I ain't no angel, just a resident of heaven.
She hasn't got her wings yet, right? So if you go to the It's a Wonderful Life idea, she needs to do some other stuff before she gets her wings. She has to go down and save somebody. Is there an episode where she goes down and saves someone?
No, they do that with Homer in a Halloween one, but she does, like, this is a milestone, but she does have wings later.
Right.
So we get to decide what she did now to get those wings over the next 20 episodes.
Brilliant. Well, let's start gathering clues, or maybe we'll find out in this very episode.
Let's do it. Cool.
Maybe in the diary. Cool. Oh, you know what? All these little people on the ground, tiny people. It's all fucking Derrida's gang, isn't it? What got trapped in that thing when Jeff Rogan said that thing wasn't real, and then we got banned off YouTube.
Oh yeah,
Mickey Foucault. Mickey Foucault. I can tell because they've got stickers on their chest. Mickey Foucault. Cool. Oh yeah, that's me, Mickey Foucault. Why don't you shut your fucking mouth off? Guy Board, I'm double me, and Kerry Derrida, who I thought was dead. What do you think of this, mice? We will wash them, we will bottle them, we will check them in, glue, glue, glue. Well, I don't think that's necessary, but KV says they need to hop on board and we can take them all if we take something to get some energy up. I know what you could take. Jump up 17 here. I got some Monster ass shots. What I've done is I've condensed our Monster energy drink and I'm going to pop them up my backside and I'll start telling the future, if you can hack it, we can. That's what I say. That's my quote.
What?
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 Okay, while the hacker is shoving Monster energy capsules up his arse.
His arse of Kerry Derrida was thumb-sized. Like four dead philosophers and poets.
Ship push.
in this fake Paul Rudd universe. Like the mice from the other podcaster here as well.
They've only got on them and they all know what John Poop's catchphrases. While that's happening, while they're trying to show. Meanwhile, why don't we have a look at some of your Funko Pops?
Let's do it.
What we got here?
This is a Wave 3 2-pack. Shakur. The 2-pack is Todd and Soichi who won one. And these are both redesigns. These are both second option Funkos. But Soichi, within the context of the Image story, when she married Todd Hobgoblin, she basically shed all of her fur and became a different looking dog. So now
marriage can change you, right?
Exactly. So and she's wearing her Shining clothes from the Shinin cast when she hosted.
I'm playing with her standing forever and ever.
Exactly. If you can't hack it. Todd.
That's my corn. That's my friend.
I think the Todd's very good. The Todd Hobgoblin's pretty cool because it looks like both a Hobgoblin and Todd.
It looks like the Green Goblin. It looks like
Exactly.
William Defoe is the Green Goblin.
It does, yeah. Hobgoblins being based on the Hobgoblins from the beer Hobgoblin in the imagery. And then also available are our, who I like to refer to as our Mordcast players, which is Natalie Balloon Roboticore, different to Natalie Balloon Manticore, who is still alive. Natalie Balloon Roboticore was killed in an explosion, then floated around space, and then her soul was combined with all the floating Philosopher's Stone, which was also just in space, and put in the body of a robot by H-Robo.
Yeah, I know that.
Boosh. And then Pants with his hat and his lobster claws. It kind of does look like Rob a little bit.
Rob McLeod, yeah, of the Bruce.
And Beef Wellington in his pre-death form.
Looks sad, doesn't he? Beef there in that image.
Yeah, he does look sad, actually. He's thinking about Leopold's lack of appearances in the last 30 years. And also, he probably just missed the lunch. It was probably time for pub tea, and he just missed pub lunch.
Probably just missed pub lunch and just had to have a pub afternoon tea.
Yes, and again, just another example of how good Artbot is at doing fake Funkos. All of these are image accurate Funkos to say that Crayon does not know what the Mordcast is. It does, however, like I just put in Pop Funko Guy Debord and it knew, and like Pop Funko Mickey Foucault, it knew who it was, but it does not know who Maud Flanders is.
It does not, but it does know who Guy Debord the situation is. This.
It did Kerry Katona, no problem. Pop Funko Kerry Katona, straight, like no second take needed, but no Maud. No more, no Roswell.
Maud is a Disney-owned character, so it might be, how does it deal with, it does others, though, right?
I thought that if you typed in, Pop Funko Spider-Man, I'm sure you would get exactly that.
Yeah, I think
Pop
so.
Funko, Jacques Derrida Spider-Man.
Jacques Derrida is probably owned by Disney right now.
It knew Derrida, knew the Log Lady.
What? Oh, hold on.
Which of those would you purchase? I would purchase Todd and Soichi. And probably Pants.
Yeah, Pants is actually my favourite. And what with him being my good buddy Rob, I might be tempted to make Pants, but Todd is also very good.
Yes, I would probably the entire bundle would be purchased by me in this scenario.
A wee bundle.
There is not a new foe has appeared.
A new foe has appeared. Oh no, the void's coming up again, and we're getting that flash now. Last time something proper bad happened to remember Ashley. I really hope nothing bad happens to anyone else.
Temporary member Ashley, you'll become a permanent member in death, was what Zanakis said, as well as Yesway.
It's a bit harsh, wasn't it? Anyway, enter text there.
A lot had happened to Frances Potter of Vanilla since she was barred from that tavern for glassing a troll. She found herself snatched on the journey, unnoticed by everyone except for Jin from Lost, but he's Jin from Lost before Jin from Lost learned English, so he couldn't tell anyone. And now, Frances has awoken, and found herself in the palace of Xenakis. But just as Frances thought her life was about to end, Xenakis let out a cold, icy blast that froze her in place. She looked at him, her eyes wide with fear as he approached her, his eyes glowing with a sinister light. "You should have stayed at the party, Maxine," Xenakis said, his voice dripping with hatred as he quoted an early 2000s Coronation Street villain at the bewildered pop sensation. "You may have stood up to me, but you're no match for my ice powers. I am the vampire king of the Indeed Ice Kingdom, and I will not be challenged by a mere mortal like you." Frances's heart raced as she realized that she was about to face her demise. But even in her final moments, she refused to let Xenakis intimidate her. "Don't get with me, Xenakis," she said, her voice filled with defiance. "I won't let you in. I won't let you control me or bully me anymore. I'll go out fighting, even if it means my own death." Xenakis sneered at her, his icy blast ready to end her life. "You're a fool, Frances," he said. "You had your chance, and you blew it. Now, it's time for you to pay the price." And with a final burst of icy energy, Xenakis killed Frances, extinguishing the light in her eyes and silencing her forever. She falls from tower into parking lot. "Don't get with me."
Oh no, that's another. Xenakis from the sponsor race just killed Frances Potter from the sponsor race.
To lose one member of Vanilla.
Well, one temporary member. Now we've lost a. She was definitively she
real
was the
member. Well, while we're mourning that, yeah, some fairly decent Spider-Man Funko Pops.
Top middle.
Some some very weird ones, as you'd expect from Autobot. But no, good job. So it's that theory is not cogent.
Because it knows the Simpsons as well, like all those family members I did were, I just typed like Simpsons style. So it knows that, but again, it just doesn't seem to know who Maude Flanders is. But let's see if
Like
it
half
just...
of the drag queens out there.
Yes.
Why don't, have you got a diary while Chatbot's having a go?
I do.
Dear Diary, yesterday marked the first time that Homer Simpson has been to our rumpus room in like 15 years of being neighbours with each other. Ned invited him round for something to do with the golf game. So I decided to make some club sandwiches, and they were the best club sandwiches I've ever made. That is not the end of the diary, but I forgot to prepare. So I'm just having a minute thinking before I write anymore. I don't want to waste any of the diary's time. I haven't seen Luann for a while. I wonder how she's doing. She's fine. A club sandwich is a classic American sandwich that typically includes sliced turkey, bacon, lettuce, tomato and mayonnaise, layered between 3 slices of toasted bread unless you're at a Wetherspoons. Here is a recipe for a classic club sandwich: 6 slices of bread, 6 to 8 slices of cooked turkey breast, 6 to 8 slices of cooked bacon, 4 to 6 lettuce leaves, 2 medium tomatoes sliced, 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise, but I wouldn't put that in, salt and pepper to taste. Toast the bread slices until golden brown. Spread mayonnaise on one side of each of the 3 slices of toast. On one slice of toast, place a layer of lettuce leaves, followed by 2 to 3 slices of turkey, 2 to 3 slices of bacon, and a few slices of tomato. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Place another slice of toast on top of the first layer and repeat step 3. Place the third slice of toast on top of the second layer, mayonnaise side down. Cut the sandwich diagonally into 4 equal pieces. Insert toothpicks through each quarter to hold the sandwich together. Serve with your favourite sides and enjoy your delicious club sandwich. And that is what I did that day. The end. Helen's a cow.
So I can see themes emerging in this diary of talking about things that she's done, and then a big long list of something, a big long explanation of something, and then a dismissal of Helen Lovejoy.
But yeah, Maude had promised, apparently in a page before this, Maude had promised to stop using AI to write her diaries. But then she realised 30 seconds in that past the idea of making a club sandwich, she'd forgotten anything else about that day. So
now, is that a repeat diary entry? Did she write that diary entry twice? Because it feels like it might have been the very first diary we ever had.
Possibly, yeah. It's hard to tell unless you go back and listen, which is very easy.
No.
You tell us, audience.
You tell us.
When somebody sets up the Maudecast wiki, we'll be fine.
This is the time for you to tell us, audience.
Exactly. Maudecast and Maudecast fandom wiki.
Maudecast wiki and Maudecast fandom wiki.
Exactly.
Shall we finish with a song?
Let's. Lettuce. It's like in a club sandwich.
Lettuce, bacon, tomato, cheese.
There was no cheese.
Dimmers VDM.
Hulza splipling magagi.
About the pooches give your neighing bout.
Left orinum, sigche, Maudey.
Nuge, Bayet and Millhouse wapping, giggling, hooting, sia.
Catwa, herb sites, back to Webercock at the door.
Capuchin's Miles house. Do nothing screamers.
Bait Miles house. Thou challenged 2 seddons.
Spell cano Roswellisons. Bed wounds on letting.
Bed wounds. Like Rod Clim, Igian, Scaffold Clim, we pwned to see Bart.
Anna McClellan, Carlton from Fresh Prince.
Maude, the Parrot.
Angelica Prodawatches, Exinja.
Dokutton, Magger, Siri Bob.
Sure as they return, Miranda's Frutia Elvils. The end.
The end.
Mere 100 minutes later. What do you think, Pinchy? What do you think, monkeys? But, before we go, do you remember that time when last winter, before all of this stuff happened?
Come on, you lot. Let's have a snowboarding race and see which one of us can win the heart of Soichi Inuwamon while she's distracted from those two hobgoblins who are battling over her.
Yes, I, Vivacious, agree to this snowboarding race. And I'm Molly Baxter and I like chips and boys.
All right, then, what do you say, Soichi?
Ishimashi desu. It's not a real word, is it?
3, 2, 1, go. I'm a taxi driver and I'm snowboarding down this hill. I'm going to win this race.
Mother has arrived and I like chips and boys. Quickly, the finish line is there. Who has won?
Woof woof.
Vivacious. I, Vivacious, have won. Your heart is mine, Soichi Inuwamon. Kawaii desu.
I don't really watch Simpsons. I'm sorry, Maude.
Probably Maude flying. Maude robbed. Maude Flanders was robbed. Maude was just a humble, religious woman trying to live her life and make it better for everyone else. And I think perhaps she deserved more time.
Brilliant.
Excellent.